Lil Train from Maravilla. How are you, Lil Train?
Hey, what's going on, homie? All right, Dusty.
Yeah, thank you so much for joining the show, man.
Well, thanks for having me.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Now, I definitely would love to take it all the way back. So, where exactly did you grow up?
Right there off of 4th and 3rd Street in East LA.
Okay,
By the 710 freeway, the interchange. What they
okay,
call the East LA interchange.
okay. And what years are we talking when you were, a kid, teenager, young kid?
Wow, fuck. I'm ready. I just turned 40 in
Oh, so you're my
January.
age.
So yeah, I'm in the 40. I'm in the 40
Okay.
bracket now.
Welcome, welcome to
You
the
know.
club.
I'm an official. I guess I like to say I'm old.
I know all the music we grew up to is now on the fucking old school channel. I'm like, damn, really?
I know for real, right? But I mean, you catch yourself saying it's still the best.
Yeah, oh, it is. Nothing beats '90s music, in my opinion.
Right.
Yeah,
For
but
the R&B and everything else.
the
Oh
hip
my
hop,
God.
everything, man, everything, dog.
Yeah, for
Well,
real,
shit.
for real.
Let's go back to L.A., East L.A. specifically in the '80s and '90s. I mean,
Yeah.
everyone who grew up in this area knows it was fucking cracking.
It was hella active,
It
yeah.
was hell of active, man. Talk to me about what your experience was like growing up around there.
I can remember as a little model, a little kid, man, back in the 80s. I mean, you couldn't stop seeing the ghetto bird at nighttime. It felt like it was right over on top of your house, you know?
Yeah.
You see the light, and I literally think like the light was in my room and shit. Like, what the hell? Like, I thought they were coming for me, even though I wasn't doing nothing at that time, but still, it was so damn close. It was crazy.
Yeah, man. Yeah, murders was
But
at an all-time high. Crack was hitting our.
yeah, murders that I've seen, man. Yeah, it's not even funny. Yeah, I've seen a lot, even as a little kid, you know.
Yeah.
Might not have realized everything that was going on, like the guy, like to fucking understand exactly like what was really happening, but like, damn, man, there was a lot of shit going on, a lot of shit.
Yeah, man. Well, shit. Let's rewind even further than that and take me back or tell me what you remember to the best of your knowledge about the history of Maravilla.
Oh wow, wow. It dates back to the 30s and 40s. It's not the oldest, but it's there. It's one of the oldest, you know. And wow, it started like I said in the 30s, and then 30s and 40s, and damn, the reason it started, you know, there's a lot of different opinions or people say why how it started, but from the best that I've always heard from my older homies and just even like people that say they know like just like factuals like they wrote in books that it came from I guess the homies, well, not the homies, the Mexicanos, Mexicans that were coming from Mexico came down to Southern California, and they wanted to like, well, they wanted to look for housing, you know, to live and work actually. And I guess what from what I heard is that the Jews didn't want them on the west side, so they say, and so they told them go to East LA, and wow, you know what, you can get land for cheap for like 1 cent for an acre,
Oh
something like
shit.
that.
Okay.
So that's how. So then the people, they said, wow, they said, damn, you know, they said, que maravilla, like how marvelous, because like damn, how so cheap, you know, all this land for a penny, you know. So that's where maravilla came from. They were like que maravilla, like how marvelous, how wonderful, you know.
Okay.
So it never came. It was nothing to do with gangs. The actual name, it just came from like them being. They really got played low key because they didn't want them with them over there, but still they got their land. But like I said, they don't. But to them it was like the best, you know. So fuck a penny. What
Yeah.
beats a penny? What beats a penny, right?
Yeah. Yeah. No, I love history like that, man. Talk to me about what you know about the reason why or correct or help me understand why they're not under the SUREN0 card.
Umbrella.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's a little, the Sureño card started in the 70s, you know. The Emma started in the late 50s, early 60s, but this Sureño card started in the 70s, you know. And what happened was back in I think about 90, I think it was 92. There was he was a somebody named Chico from Vietnamese. He came out and he said that, you know, everybody's gonna have to pay taxes. They had a big old meeting. Everybody was gonna have to pay taxes, you know, for every neighborhood. You were gonna have to pay, you know, pay rent. How much wasn't exactly decided yet, but you were gonna have to pay, so much. You're gonna have to kick down to the homies, right?
Mm-hmm.
And from what I know, because I hadn't gotten to the hood yet, my homies that were there were like, "No, this ain't happening. We ain't doing it." So then they sent a couple of their people to Belvedere Park. It's right in Maravilla, and basically they got sent packing, in a bad way.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when the green light came on after that, and it was on. It was on site for both ways. If we see them, it was on, and if they see us, it was on.
Yeah.
And so
Explain to people what green light means.
basically, what the green light is, it's basically kill on sight. If you're in the streets, it's shoot on sight, stab on sight, whatever you got, fight on sight. And in jail, in county jail, it's fucking stab, beat down whatever you got in your hand on sight. There's no ifs and buts. You say Maravilla back then, it's just on.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just there's no way of going around it. And it's straight up, and that's what was going down from like about 92 to 2005. It was
Okay.
it was pretty gruesome.
And how did it work when the MA runs pretty much California prisons? How does it work when a Maravilla gets in? I mean, is he off top? Just it's on.
Yeah. Well, in prison it doesn't carry. In prison it stops. It's just like LA County jail thing.
Oh, really? Okay.
Well, yeah, it's just an LA County jail thing. I mean, there you got like Riverside County, San Bernardino. They'll play that too, to a certain point. But if it's basically it's a county jail. It's a county jail thing. Once you get to the prison, they don't play that shit. You go straight up. You go with everybody. So like we're not, even though we're not SURENOs. Like we don't have a 13. We don't write 13 on the wall. We still program. We still sallies with them. We still run with them. If a SURENO is gonna get if it's gonna go down with the blacks or the whites or the Asians or whatever, we're gonna be there the same way.
Yeah, it's all about numbers, pretty much. We can't all be
Yeah,
divided.
yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's all numbers. They're going up with the North. We're there.
Yeah.
Now I'm not gonna sugarcoat and lie. There's certain individuals from Maravilla that have been down long time, years, and they play both sides. They'll claim they're SURENO because they've been in that system so long. They considered all of them their brothers. They're like, some of them ain't never gonna make it back to the streets. So if you got a dude that you've been fucking with for years or whatever, you're gonna fall into that category. And some of them do that, and they actually do claims. They claims to, So I can't say that none of us do, but for the majority, it's only a handful of guys that like are doing major time that never gonna get out. That they start politicking and they actually become SURENOs.
Okay.
But for the most part, we don't fly a 13. You're not gonna see 13 on the wall. You're not gonna see somebody come and collect money from us. It's not gonna happen.
Okay. Are there any other big gangs out there that aren't under the SURENO umbrella, or are you guys pretty much
Well,
like that?
I wouldn't want to say big gangs, but there's a couple of gangs that like Lowell and Opal, and they have the green. For I know that they have Lowell for sure has the green light for like supposedly for life. Because I guess what the rumor was that they killed somebody, and supposedly they're never gonna get it taken off. So they go protected custody even in prison. There's no ifs and buts. Yeah, they're not a big neighborhood. But they're still out there.
Yeah.
You can get got by one of them if
Damn, dude.
So yeah, so there's like maybe a couple, but that's about it. They don't really play that green light shit no more on audios. From what I know, I've been out for the last 2 years, and from what I remember, after doing my stretch, you didn't really hear about neighborhoods getting green lights. It does happen, but it wasn't like in the 90s. Like, damn, your neighborhood could have the green light. Like, you could be cool in the county 1 minute, just chilling. Next thing you know, you're getting beat up because your neighborhood has a green light. Because your homies fucked up out there.
Made a call.
Yeah, next thing you know, you're getting a blue. That's why I give it to a certain audios, certain dudes that I know that did time with, that I know that they were on the main line, that they toughed it out with the green light.
Yeah.
I gotta give them a lot of props, because I know what they went through. They fucking there were some real ones.
Damn, dog. So what was your longest stretch?
I did almost 14 years.
Ooh.
Did about 13 years in like 6 months, maybe about 6 months, something like that.
Okay. What was the conviction? What were you charged
it
with?
was for attempted murder, for a little shooting.
Damn.
Nobody died or nothing. I mean, Maybe it would have been better if they died, because then I wouldn't have got told on. But
Oh,
yeah,
there it is, another story
nah,
of
yeah,
somebody
yeah.
being snitched on.
Oh yeah, that's the thing to do. But you know what's funny though is, but I got snitched on by the people and my crimey, so I can't even, you know what I mean? My crimey, so it's like it was just all bad, you know. It's a
God
lesson.
damn.
It's a lesson to be learned, you know.
Fuck. How did that feel when it was he from your hood? Um,
No, that was
uh,
a funny thing.
so
But
he
see,
wasn't. Okay.
when I took this youngster one of my wing, he was from actually from a little neighborhood in Paramount, but he was living on my block when I got out. I had just did like a little 16 months when I got out. You know, the green light was already going down. It was already around 2004. It was like a yellow light. It was like, you know, it wasn't all hard. There wasn't fools coming and looking for us all day or waiting outside the county jail. So I had this youngster living on my block, so I had got out, and had heard about me, so he wanted to connect. So I took him under the wing, even though he was from another neighborhood. He was like my little dog right there, you know. And just shit hit the fan, and he wasn't ready for it. He had never been busted. He wasn't ready, and he basically ate shit, you know. But it happens, and
Damn.
it shit happens. And fucking
Talk to me about your first time stepping into prison. What is it like? You know, who do you have to
oh
automatically connect with? You know, your people? Are they checking your
oh yeah,
paperwork?
the first time when I had that 16 months, it's like kind of like I was ready to a point because my homeboys had laced me up. I being with my homies in the county, a lot of my OG homies, I had got so much game, and from them, they had taught me so much. So I already knew what basically to expect. Like I could already picture the prison when I got there. Like I already like had it. Like they had already told me so many damn stories
Mm,
of different joints, you know. So I was pretty much. I wasn't nervous. I was just a little. I had that energy, like was ready for anything, but I wasn't like worried or scared. I was just more like I had already been through so much in the county and the streets, so this was like it was actually like it was peaceful. You know, I knew there was no green light in the state, so it was just like it was
mm,
all good for me. You know.
damn. Now, I've had conflicting answers on this, and I would love to know what you think. I had someone who said that county jail was more dangerous than prison, and
Uh,
then I had someone who went to prison and said, "Nah, that dude
yeah.
is crazy. There's no, that's not the case." What are your opinions on jail versus prison when you're an active gang
I
member?
mean, um, it could go both ways. It depends where you go in the county, who you're with in the county, or the sheriffs being dirty in the county. There's some fools that have a cupcake in the county. You know, they get a porter job and they're wearing the greens, they're trusty, and they're loving it. You know, and then you got these dudes that are like me going to the gang mod, or the Maravilla module, or it could be high tower, it could be a dorm that's just cracking. You know, or it could be even 2,000 floor. It's just on site, and you know, they could just say like you could have two blacks in there or three blacks, and you could be outnumbered, and it's cracking with another blacks on the other side. You got to go at it. These fucking blacks are gonna fuck you up. They're already big. I'm not gonna lie. We all know that blacks they have not to be like stereotypes. They just
No,
have
we are.
great
Yeah,
genetics. They have great genetics. So you blow up, you know, and so it's like, damn, you're gonna get mine, and you could die, you know. Three
yeah,
dudes on you, it could be the end of your life just like that. You could be cool with that brother too. You guys could be just chilling, chopping up. You could be giving him a three-way. He could be, you know what I mean. And next thing you know, you got no choice, you know. And then bam, it's fucking, you know, it's on.
damn, dude.
It's messed up in the county. So I mean, I could see it both ways because, I mean, I went to practically at least 12 prisons in state and level 4, level 3. So I've seen so, and in the county, I've been to just about every place in the county. So it goes both ways. Like I said, it could be deadly. It could be deadly too, but just because you could have a seizure. I had a homie. He was getting released that day,
Mm-hmm.
had a seizure in his cell. The cop was being a dick, didn't fucking get him medical attention, and he died in his cell. He banged
God
his head on the
damn.
fucking
What the
plate, and he
fuck?
died. He was getting released that same day. He wasn't even supposed to go back to the county. He was just supposed to get released from the court, but they sent him back to the county jail. Even though he had the green wristband, he had a seizure. And the cop, you know, I've had another one of my homies. He didn't play that shit. He wanted to go to the main line, even though he knew he was gonna get it. He said, "Fuck it." That was just how he felt, right? He had a plate in his head from being shot. He fucking got into a fight, went back to sleep, and never woke up. You know, it's just so there's just so many. There's so many different things. You know,
Mm.
I've been with homies that have caught life in the county for jumping somebody and the guy died or anything. You know,
Yeah.
it shit happens. I've seen so many. I've been with so many in-house dudes with in-house murders cases. You know, it's just the county's brutal. There was a homie. He was from Rancho San Pedro. He's a lifer now. He got life, when he barely got busted, he was in the holding tank, and I don't know what happened, but it went on with the paisa, and him and some homies jumped the paisa and they killed the paisa. He caught the case on the first day in IRC, you know.
Damn.
So he caught his fucking he ended up getting 10 years for his actual case, and he got a life sentence for the in-house, you know. It just
Damn.
it's just crazy. Like if you could survive our due time in LA County, you can do time in any county. I don't care what they say about any prison and a jail in like Mississippi or I know their toleration is fucked up, but if you could survive the LA County jail back in the day, now it's a lot better, like because of all the things that got played out and everything got put on blast. But before, back in the 90s, 80s, 70s, 2000s, early 2000s, it was vicious, you know.
Damn,
you can survive those. You can do anything, you know.
Yeah. How much of the contraband and drugs and cell phones and whatever weapons and things like that are getting into prisons are getting in through correctional officers?
I would want to say at least half.
Yeah.
Because it's or more, maybe half to 75.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I'm gonna go 75 to be honest. Free staff, librarian, free staff, and I'm telling you all this stuff, and it's not even. People are gonna hate and say I'm exposing it. This has been known. Come on, everybody knows. I'm not saying anything that ain't been known, you know. Yeah. So it's not like, you know, they're gonna be like, oh, that fool better not go back to prison. Cause I'm not going back to prison. Believe that, because I'm not. Because I'm not stupid after doing 14 years. I'm not gonna go back regardless. You know what I mean? You know, fuck it. But yeah, I mean, I would say 75 to 80, because you got the laundry lady, you got the cooks, you got the fucking, you know, you got everybody. You know, I got a homie, dog. I tell him, look, man, you wanted me to get him this one to that. I go, look, you've been down 11 years. You got fucking 2 more years. As long as I'm out here, you're gonna get $50 every week from me. Fucking don't do nothing stupid. And so I just catch him out right there and get to start. I go, that's all you need, bro. You don't need nothing else. You don't want to make this move. You don't need none of that shit, you know. Just like my brother did for me when I was down to my last 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
That fool would cash me out every month for my 220, but he wouldn't give me nothing I was not supposed to have. He'd be like, nah, you coming home already, you know. I don't want you trying to do this move. You're not doing this move. You're not making this money. There's no need for all that, you know. And that's the way I do it. That's my boy. I was like, look, man, you're gonna get that money every week, and that's cool. And if you don't get it that week, you'll get doubled up the next. Don't even trip, but yeah, don't worry about having to make moves to have money to get this, because you don't need all that. You're too close to the house already.
Yeah, that's a true friend, man. That's a true friend right there. I've heard people say that when you go to prison, and you're involved, you know, with gangs, that you almost have to be somewhat racist. You know what I mean? Like, if you're black versus Latino versus black, like it's like you may like them outside, but fuck, when you get in, it's like, all right, it's on.
Yeah, those things are like, they go both ways. Like yeah, it's crazy like that. Yeah, like fuck yeah, it's because you know, a lot of Mexicans and blacks grew up with each other, like on the South Side. You want to see Compton, Paramount, South Side. Then you got people like me in East LA. It was a culture shock. I never knew no blacks until I got to jail and to prison. You know? Yeah. I didn't know about like the difference between. I knew Crip and Blood, what a Crip and Blood was, but I didn't know about fucking Hoover. I didn't know about the dudes from up north. You know, all these the Kumis and all. I didn't know none of these things. You know, and that was all culture shock. You know, like and it's crazy because, like you said, like these dudes grew up together. Like dudes are from Compton, they're Mexican and the blacks, and then now they're straight enemies. They can't even fucking. They could barely say what's up. You know, let alone fucking dap each other up or something. You know. It was really tension. Now it's a lot different. Now I've seen a lot of difference with the tension between the blacks and the Mexicans, and even the Northerners and the Mexicans. It's a lot more like you actually see a Mexican and a black hug each other, like not like a straight embrace hug. Yeah. But you know the kind of hug.
When you say what's up, homie, blah blah blah.
Yeah. You could never do that before. One time the homie did it, and everybody just looked at him like, oh, what the fuck are you doing? You know, like you just don't you don't do it. Now it's changed a lot. You see that now, you know. I remember the first time I fucking was on a level 4 actually, where I had a radio. The homie lent me the radio, and it was like my birthday. And I had Pruno and fucking my birthday's actually on New Year's, you know, January 1st. So I was up all night drinking, and I had like a Tupac tape, and you know how Tupac goes. So yeah, I was all fucked up, and I was repeating the song, and I said the N-word because of the song, you know, because of the song. And that's a level 4. And then when the homie from East Coast, Iceman, he knows how I am. He knows I'm the boy. He's like, hey, fool, just don't do that again, please, because my homie sees it. I go, hey, my bad. I didn't even know I fucking said that's how fucking good. Because I know you were fucked
That
up.
Bruno got you.
He goes, I thought you were gonna start shouting out my hood. You were so fucked up. I was like, nah, man, yeah. But see, like that. But then you go down to a level 2 or level 3, and you see homies saying that word. So I was just like, whoa, I went down to a level 3 after being in level 4 for like 6-7 years, and I'm at the chow, and there's 2 homies from Florence and a homie from Lennox, and then there's the next table, there's those blacks. I don't know exactly what neighborhoods they're from, but and the homies saying and this, saying that, and the homies from Lennox and Florence are going back saying that word like it's a thing to do, and I'm just like ready to get, like, I'm thinking, damn, he's gonna get cracked right now or something, And then I told him, hey, and I pulled him to the side when we're walking back from the chow, and I go, hey, he goes, oh man, he told me to train him with me with all that high power shit. I go, no, I'm not trained. I don't even. He goes, yeah, it's all good. You can do that right here in level 3. I was like, all right, man, because I didn't know that shit. I go, you know what I mean? I'm fucking looking out for myself. I'm already thinking I'm going back to level 4 because he's saying that word,
Because let me preface this question with, when I was a kid, I was 10 years old, so don't laugh at me because of this question, but Colors, right? You know the movie Colors. Everybody knows Colors.
Yeah.
All right. Pac-Man. We got 21st Street with Frog and.
Yeah. Frog, died. He died years ago.
Yeah, he did. He was a good actor too. I can't lie. I wanted to be the black dude in the that was part of the Mexican gang.
The SA gang. Oh yeah, the one that
Sylvester.
The one that got Pac-Man.
Yeah, man.
Oh yeah, he was a shit.
I wanted to be that dude. So that leads to my next question. I had to keep it real with you on that. But that leads to my next question. Do you know if there's ever been any black dudes from Maravilla?
You know what? They'll try to say a lot of shit, but I don't even care. Like my hood actually was one of the first ones to ever. We haven't had none now, or in the 80s, but we had one from the 60s. His name was Bote, rest in peace. He was half black and half Filipino, and his sister was negra. She was obviously half black and half Filipino, and I think they had one more sister that I never met, but they were a family. They're the only black family from the barrio that they were half black and half Filipino. They didn't have no Mexican, but they spoke fluent Spanish just from living in the hood all the years. Yeah, and they were half black, half Filipino, but you couldn't see no Filipino part. You just seen black. You know what I mean? Yeah. And his name was Bote. And I remember the first day I met him, I rode up to the county jail to the tier. That's when we had to connect. So I rode up to the tier. And my neighborhood's always been one of mostly the biggest. So we fucking had like that whole tier was just all my neighbors, like 26 cells. And it was just all my homies. So I'm getting to my cell. I'm walking the tier, and I see my homeboy Duke. And he's like, hey, pimp. He be talking kind of funny. He be talking like that little pimp talk. He's like, hey, pimp. He's like, hey, what's up, pimp? I'm like, what's cracking, homie? And he's like, hey, have you met the homie Bote? And I'm like, Bote? Well, Bote means can in Spanish, right? I'm like, nah, who's that? And you see a little dark homie come up to the front of the fucking of the door, right? The bars. He's like, hey, oh man, they call me Bote. And fucking, I see he looks like, he's dark, but he looks like George Jefferson,
Okay.
He has the little
the hair, right?
Bald part in,
He
has the cul-de-sac, the bald in the middle, and then the little. I swear to God, but he's dark, he's got, and I'm like, damn, what's up, homie? And I'm just like, at first, I'm like, what the fuck? And I knew the homie looked at me, started laughing because he knew I was gonna be shocked as fuck, like what the hell? And that was the homie's Bote. That's the homie's Bote. But we ended up shaving his head after he got him a razor, and we shaved. So we couldn't have that looking like that,
Nah,
dog. Even though he's OG, you can,
Yeah.
That. And yeah, so he's the only one from my hood. I can't say from the other body. I seen one. Actually, he was half black and half I think Mexican. His name was Downer from another Maravilla from Pomeroy, and he was knocking fools out left. He's because like I tell you, he had that good genetics on the other side. And that's the only other one that I could think of to come to my head. But like I said, our homie, like he was hello. He'd be like 80 right now. I think he's alive still.
That's crazy.
But he's the only one. And it's not from like to say, oh well, you're being racist because we don't get. There just was not.
It just wasn't. We weren't around. That area.
Exactly. It wasn't about like, oh no, just like you just weren't around.
Yeah.
At that time, like I said, they were like the only family, one of the only. So they had got this him and the sisters. So yeah. So if that answers your question. So yeah, we have had.
Oh, okay, that's
a
cool.
family. Yeah.
Well, shit, I want to ask you one more question, then we'll wrap it up, man.
Yeah.
First off, how old were you when you got jumped in, or when you joined your gang?
I was 15.
15.
95.
95. Okay, so you're 15. if you could talk to, if you had to, if you could sit down for like 2 minutes and talk to a 15-year-old you, what would you
Wow.
tell him? Just knowing everything you know now, you know what I'm saying? 30 years later or whatever.
Fuck, I would tell him fucking don't you dare fucking go kick it with the homies. Don't you dare fucking do any of that stupid shit that's gonna get you where I ended up being. You know, I'll be straight up. My homies know. You know, when I got my homies know, like, they knew better to be like bringing anything that has to do with getting in trouble to my doorstep. You know,
Yeah.
like I did my time.
You
You know, it's like
proved that.
the way it was. Yeah, it was a waste. I'll be straight up. It was a waste. It was a waste of time. I was blessed because my grandmother raised me. I was blessed. And my grandma was 93 when I got out. She was still alive. She's 94 now. You know, I
Wow.
was blessed to have her. She lived to see me out. You know,
That's
I
wow.
was just
That's
like,
dope.
so you know, that would have killed me if she wouldn't. She raised me, but I was blessed. You know, so God gave me something. You know, He gave me something. So that's why I'm a discharge. I think next week my officer already put in my discharge. You know, I've been out. It'll be 2 years, July 9th. He's discharging me already. And I had a job. I got fucking not a new car, but it's a 2014. I got a finance bitch. I got a fucking family. We got a pad. I got everything. I got
That's
money.
what you need,
you
homie.
know?
That's it right there, dog. And you have
Yeah,
your
I
freedom,
got-
which is the most important
Yeah,
part.
exactly. I got my freedom, and you can't take that. You can't take that. That's, you know, freedom is like everything. You ain't worth shit in there. You know.
Yeah.
There's nothing. Who wants to be asking their people for money? Who wants to be asking for packages? Who wants to be that shit? That shit is dead. You want to have your own shit. You don't want to be waiting on somebody else when, you know, it's not even right. You know, we're men. We're not supposed to be. We're supposed to provide, not the other way around.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Well,
You know,
damn,
but yeah.
man. Lil Train, it's been a pleasure, homie. I would love to have you on in the
Oh,
near
yeah.
future, man.
Yeah, for sure.
That's
You know,
dope.
talk about anything. You know.
Yeah, and
So I'll
thank you
give
so
some more.
much. Go ahead.
Anything else, I'll let you know about my neighborhood or
Yeah.
anything. If there's any questions you could think of that you just, you know,
Yeah,
there's
perfect,
just
man.
like, you know, yeah, there's no problem. Like I said, just because we're not SUREN0, I still have respect for all of them. I did a lot of time with them, and you know, I know a lot of them to this day. I keep in touch, you know, but like, I'm not afraid to talk about stuff. I'm not there's not gonna be nobody from my hood to come and check me or tell me, you know. It sucks the way that is for other people, but it's just a structured program. That's the way it is, you know.
Yeah.
I can't knock it, but it's just not for my hood, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
So like I said, anytime you want to, we can, you know.
Yeah,
Top
we
it
just
up
hit
and-
the tip of the iceberg, man. So we'll
Yeah,
definitely
you know,
get a little deeper next time, man. I'll make sure I stay in touch with you, and we'll do it again. You
Most definitely, yeah,
have a safe night, homeboy.
yeah. Marvelous, man. I'll talk to you soon.
Yeah, thank you, man. Peace.